find it again. Let's see. Okay. All right. So, Rachel, you can still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Your dad was saying that you like insects. You like insects and animals?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite insect? I don't want to have creepy crawly dreams, but do you have a favorite insect?
Can you say that again?
Yeah, favorite insect
Oh yeah. My favorite insect is like is a wasp.
You like a wasp. Wow, you do like insects. Okay. And what about your favorite animal?
Well, I want to say like a black panther.
Got it. A black panther. And can you tell me what is your favorite thing about your dad? What's your favorite thing about him?
Um. um oh yeah, that he's an artist.
He's an artist. Oh, okay. Like he draws or he paints, or when you say he's an artist, what does he do?
Well, he does both.
He does both. And does he draw pictures of people, of things, of you? What does he do?
He draws like he sometimes draws pictures of people in the Bible days.
Oh, okay. And so you're like Joseph, you got one of those Bible names too, don't you? Oh, you're froze. We're having all the kind of freeze moments. You have a beautiful family, Michael. Beautiful family. And I think it's important for people to see it. That's why I've been trying to get you on forever. And that's why I think the devil's working so hard. He's doing double time because he doesn't want, I believe, sometimes it's just technical difficulties, but over a number of months have been trying to get Shadrika to get you on because I believe that there are brothers that need to see a father hanging there with 7 children and his beautiful wife and make it work. Because I think the tendency is for us to take the easier way and say, hey, this is too hard for me to do. But the more that we can show people what they can be, the more I believe that they are able to be it. And if we don't start showing wholesome father relationships, we're just going to see the other side of it, right? We see images of the black father that are not always portrayed for the average person who is working every day to take care of his family, spending quality time, teaching them how to fix things, being a disciplinarian when he needs to be. Those are the images I think that we have to make sure that people see in order for black men especially to be. Because we're in a world system where not every black man has had an example of a father or an example of a male figure who has shown him the way. It's good to have peers around so that people can see that this is what people are living out. That you're living out what's been divinely planned for you in your life. How do you feel about that? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, there are spiritual implications to being a father.
Now you're back to that, and we can not hear your sound that great again. Okay, I got another one. Let's see. This must be Hoshana.
Yeah.
Did I guess it right?
Yes.
Of course. I think I've talked to everybody else, right, Hoshana? So I didn't probably guess too well. I probably just kind of deduced that you would be the next person, right? And how old are you?
11.
11. Okay. Does that mean you're a 5th grader or 6th grader?
6th grader.
You're a middle schooler.
Yeah.
Is this going to be your first year in middle school if you get to go to school?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll be starting middle school. Are you excited about that? Nervous about that? Are you going to a new school or the same school?
I'm going to a new school because
Okay, you froze. You said you're going to a new school because
I'm homeschooled.
oh, you're homeschooled. Okay. Wow. How was that? Do you like being homeschooled? Have you always been homeschooled?
Yeah,
Okay. And you like being homeschooled?
it's okay.
It's okay. You think you would like to try going to school, to a school versus homeschool, just to see what it's like?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Sixth grade can be fun. I remember middle school. Wasn't that long ago, even though it feels like it was a long time, Oshana, but it wasn't that long ago. So tell me about your dad. Tell me something about your dad.
He's funny sometimes.
He's funny sometimes. Somebody else said that too.
Um, uh, he likes to go on nature walks.
Hmm. Do you like to go on nature walks too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sometimes.
sometimes. Okay. All right.
Um,
What's your favorite thing about him? What's your favorite thing about him?
um, my favorite thing. Oh, sometimes he gets me a icy or like some type of drink or something.
Got it. And what's your favorite flavor icy?
Pina colada.
Oh, look at you. Fancy schmancy. Okay, very good. And I asked your sister Deborah this. I don't think I got a chance to ask Rachel this. But so you're 11.
Reason up.
Do you think that when you get older that you will want to, I mean, long time away, right? But that you're frozen, I think. Are you still there? Uh-oh. We lost her again. I guess I wasn't supposed to ask Koshana that question, I guess. I think you have some beautiful kids and you must be proud. They seem well adjusted. They seem to have their own personalities and spirits. And even though I think it was Deborah said she's a free spirit, but I think they all seem to have pretty decent level heads. And I think that would be something to be able to balance with 7 children. How do you think you guys manage to do that? How do you manage to do that?
Yeah. Like I said, just a lot of prayer. We try not to act like we know everything with our children. We try to keep the most important things the most important things. We try to have enough grace and liberty for them to do some things, and kind of balance it out with discipline and the nurturing.
Mm-hmm.
And um, I think that's what's going to pay a lot of dividends.
Mm-hmm.
As with every family, you have certain areas that you have to work on, but as long as we, like they say, the family that prays together stays together. So, there's at least twice a week where we have a family devotion and we sit down and we pray together, and they've seen God answer prayer. They've seen, like miraculous things happen. They've seen God provide for us. And, I often tell them, I say, hey, if you leave and you decide you don't believe in God anymore, I said, well, you're going to have to ask yourself, how did God answer all of these prayers that your parents have prayed? Hold on one second. I got one that's coming in.
Okay. Okay, so one's coming in. So Hoshana, I was talking to you. I was going to ask you, when you grow up, do you think you would want to marry a man like your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me why. Can you tell me why? I know that's a long ways off. I don't want to scare your mommy or your daddy. That's a long ways off, right? But one day you will probably meet somebody just like your mommy did. She met your dad, right? And so, what kind of things would you think that you would want in somebody that's like your dad? So would you want somebody that's kind of funny? I think you said that he's kind of funny, but maybe not as funny. I don't know. Is that what you're telling me? He's kind of funny sometimes. What other things might you want that you see in your dad and say, oh, that would be good for me to have way down the road?
Nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else.
Okay. Well, it was nice to meet you. I was telling your dad, I think you guys are a great group of kids, of young people.
Thank you.
So they're doing a good job with you all.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I think, is somebody else joined you at home?
Did somebody join me?
Daddy.
Yeah, but they're right now she's getting settled. So
Okay.
if you had another question or something, I could feel that.
Yeah, and I don't know, Shadrika, are you close to the camera?
I am.
Yeah. I was saying, I think you guys have done an outstanding job, and in this time, something that Michael said earlier on. I don't know if you would have heard it earlier on, but he said that stuff like Xboxes and stuff like that, that's limited. Most of it is family time, reading. They have some access to computer and stuff like that. How much a difference do you think that makes in them being, along with prayer, of course, but how much a difference do you think that makes in them being in my estimation, so well grounded? Because a lot of the kids in this town aren't as grounded.
I think it makes a big difference because the children, most of them are avid readers and they are serious free thinkers.
Okay.
So it makes a difference. I feel like they spend a great deal of time reading books.
Okay.
It's just something that they love to do. I mean, I love to read. They do it a lot. Mike reads. I think I do more pleasure reading than what he does. But they do a lot of reading, and they just don't have a lot of screen time really.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, it's important. You have to develop your mind. It's okay. It's okay. Some of them really love games, video games, and things, and sometimes they may get into the groove on the computer. My husband and some of the children liking video games more than, and that's fine. But I think just reading allows them to really think for themselves. And so, like I said,
And you guys, you're
and
frozen.
right now they're kind of freezing up here, in this interview, but they are serious. There's serious conversations. So I think it makes a big difference. Like they can have a substantial conversation with anybody.
Yeah, I just caught them off guard. That's what that is. Okay, so I see that there's another person that has joined us. I can kind of see a sliver of her on one of the cameras. Okay, now I got an echo. See, we'll do this. All right. Okay, so yep, you got to turn the camera so I can see her. So I can't. There you go. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. And tell us your name.
My name is Kai McQuarrie.
Your name is Kai, and that means life, I think I heard earlier. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you have such a big smile, so you must be full of life, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you guess so? Okay. And how old are you, Kai?
I'm 15.
You're 15. So you're 2 years younger than Deborah.
Yes.
Yes. Do you and Deborah ever share clothes?
Yes. All the time.
All the time. Does she want to share her clothes with you? Is she nice about sharing her clothes?
Most of the times, no, but
Most of the time, no. Okay.
So,
All right. So how is it having that big sister, Deborah? How's Deborah as a big sister?
it's great. We relate in so many things, which is like super good because like, right under me is Joe, and me and Joe. I mean, we relate and stuff, but like, you know, Joe is a boy, so having that older sister that like you can relate to is like really good. And yeah, I'd say we're probably like the closest siblings. Like I'm close with Deborah, like out of all the siblings.
Got it. And how good a big sister? What would your sister say about your younger sister? Say about you as a big sister?
They probably would say that I am very bossy,
You're bossy. Okay.
but yeah, that's just probably most times they just don't like to listen to what I tell them to do. And they probably would say I'm really silly.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so 15, are you ready to drive, you think?
I know how to drive.
You
I
know,
definitely do. I have my license and I haven't taken any classes, but I feel like I know how to drive.
you feel like you know how to drive. Okay. Tell me something good about your dad. What's your relationship like with your dad?
Let me think. So, something good. I would say that dad likes to do things for people. So like earlier this year I was painting a picture and I didn't have all the paint material and I was kind of broke, so I wasn't able to get it. And so then he just gave me a set of acrylic paint, so I was able to get stuff, which was like really nice of him to do, and I didn't expect him to do that. And so I just say that that was a very thoughtful thing for him to do. And I'd say like overall he does go out his way to make sure the kids have the things they need and sometimes even the things they want, to get something fun done.
So you're a painter and he's a painter. Both of you paint, or
Yeah, I'm an artist.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. You're an artist. Is he an artist as well?
Yes.
Okay, so you all have that in common. Do you do that together ever?
Well, we've worked on some calendars. Me, him, and some of the younger girls have done some calendars, like a 12-month calendar. So we did a couple themes. The first theme I think was butterflies, and then we did like an underwater sea life calendar. So that was kind of us doing like art together.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Do you think that you got that artist touch from him, or do you think that's just your own natural gift?
Yeah, I do think I got some of it from him, but I also think of myself as a creative person, so I do think I got some of it just from my God-given creativity. So,
Okay. And what do you want, if anything, to do with being an artist? Do you want to paint murals? Do you want to be commissioned to do work? What do you want to do? Where do you think that might take you?
well, I don't think I will go into like a career as being an artist, like for
Okay.
like everything. I mean, I might, here and there, make a piece and sell it to somebody. I do hope to continue like my artwork, until I'm old. And I just hope like that when people see my artwork, they're able to like understand what I put into it. Like when I drew it, I understand like the meaning behind it.
Okay. And what do you think about being in a family of six other siblings? Is it fun?
It has its pros and cons. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I was an only child, but I actually am very thankful for my siblings because, it's like you don't have to go out the house to make friends, you got all of them, and which is really good. I would say the only con to it is that like sometimes they can be like a little annoying, and so you just kind of want to like get away from everybody, but then somebody else is coming up to you like, hey, Kai, this and that, and you're just like, oh, go. But it's actually a good thing having siblings.
Okay. All right. And so I know somewhere down the road, maybe far, far down the road, you may decide one day that you will get married. What
Mhm.
what qualities are in your dad that you might see that you would want to be in a husband way down the road?
Definitely joyfulness or like a uplifting spirit. Definitely that. Um, Probably like comedy, comical. How would you call it? Comical humor. Yeah, humor. Um, Motivation, definitely motivation, because I'm not trying to marry nobody lazy. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, so those would probably be like the main ones that I would say.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Kai, thank you so much. It's a pleasure meeting you. You guys are a great group of siblings. Good to meet you.
Oh, I think Dad wants to show you the calendar.
Oh, yes. Now, is this the calendar that you all sell?
Yes, this was 2019. I'm pretty sure. Was it 2019? No, yeah, this was this is 2020.
Okay,
This was this. So this was like a butterfly calendar.
got it. And how much does that sell for?
Was it 15?
Those were 15.
These were 15, and then we had a poster calendar, which was five. Which was 5.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're going to have to give us some information where people can order from you. You never know, people might want to place an order,
Yeah, that's true.
especially for 2020, because we have never seen a year like this, I don't think ever.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Kai, it's a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much.
You too. You're welcome.
And so, Michael, before we wrap it up, what would you say to fathers who may be coming into this Father's Day and who do not have a relationship with their children? What would you say to those fathers?
I would say the first thing is do some soul searching. Sit down and realize that the relationship is more important than how you feel. It's more important than the mistakes that you've made. Let me see here. Yeah, I would say the relationship is more important than how you feel. It's more important than the mistakes that you've made. What God looks at is not so much that you're perfect, but that you're perfecting your life. And God looks at the love that we have. And, no one's perfect. And, but I would try to make myself, no, I wouldn't try to make myself. I would, as earnestly as I could, I would interject myself into that child's life. I do understand that people have, different relationships. You may be out of the picture because of another marriage or another relationship, and you have to be wise in that. But make sure that child knows that beyond whatever mistakes you've made, that you love them and that you want what's best for them. And I think sometimes that will go a long way. When a father is not in the home, there's a lot that's lost and a lot that society has to implement to remake that. I mean, the disciplinary father can replace the police. The disciplinary father can replace, the affectionate father can replace that boyfriend that's sneaking around getting with these girls. It's so much that we can do by expressing our affection. When I grew up, I'll say this and I'm gonna let y'all go, but basically 2 things my father said to me that I will never forget. One, my father always told me that he loved me, and I had an older brother and a younger brother, and it was the same for them. The second thing, if he did something wrong, he apologized. And those 2 things made a lasting impression upon all of us. He also had a way of working with my mother that they always would discuss their problems in private and they never argued in front of us. So those are like very lofty goals, but I would say to any man that has that has a child biologically, or if you have young children around you that are your nephews, nieces, little boys and girls down the street, just show them what a godly man should be. You know, insert yourself into their lives in a way that's wise, in a way that's caring, and to leave them that impression to say, hey, you know what, that man feared God. Proverbs 31 is the virtuous woman, and Psalms, I believe it's Psalms 112. Psalms 112. If you read that one, to me, that's like the virtuous man. Let me look. Let me make sure I get that. Hold on. No, it's Psalms 1. I believe it's Psalms 115. I'm just pulling it up off of my mind. No, it ain't that one either. It's one of them Psalms. I don't have to look it up. Oh yeah. Psalms 1. Yeah. Okay. Psalms 112. Blessed is the man that fears the Lord. And you could just read through that. It says a lot about. It's like the man's version of the Proverbs 31 woman. You know, it talks about the man fearing the Lord, guide his affairs with discretion, you know, helping out the poor, all types of things. So that's what I was saying. And definitely keep me in your prayers, because for as much as it looks well on the outside, you know, the enemy is constantly attacking. The devil is constantly, you know, trying to derail what my wife and I have done by faith. You know, I mean, we have all types of influences coming in, especially when they become teenagers, and we have to navigate through that. And but you know, we just trust the Lord that, you know, all things work together for good. So definitely keep us in your prayers. Don't sit back and say like, oh, they have it all together, because we're constantly in prayer, fasting, and doing what we have to do to make it work. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much. I think this has been an excellent, even though you may not have it all together, I think it's important that people see that families can make it work, perfect or imperfect, with prayer, with fasting, with love, with togetherness, that they can make it work.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, you're
right.
Brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you for coming.
All right. Thank you, sir. And have a great night, everybody. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you. You too. And so that was Michael McCrary, father of 7 children. And I love how he closed it out. You know, pray for us. We don't have it all together. And these are times that much work of the enemy is happening, that children, young people are being tried by fire. Not new that they're being tried by fire. It's just that there is so much facing our young people in this day and time. And so I'm grateful to have had them on, a family, a large family, but a beautiful family, as you heard from each of the children that we were able to speak with. All of them have their own personality. All of them seem to be fairly well adjusted, and all of them have something fun or good to say about their dad. And as we're going into this Father's Day, I'm hoping that hearing these young people talk about their dad will remind you of yours. And if you have a father who is still living, that it will remind you to go and to connect with him during this Father's Day season. Even if because of the pandemic, you're not able to be face-to-face, touch person to person, the role, as you heard Michael say, of the father is critical. Not exactly in those words, right? But it's critical for the father to be in the home, because if he's not present, there is so much that society has to make up on his behalf. So if you are a father and you have children, wherever they are, reach out to them. And if you're a son or daughter and you have a father who is living, reach out to him. And if you're a son or daughter and you're like me and your father has gone on, relive those wonderful memories of him and those great lessons that he taught you to help you become the man or woman that you are today. I'm so grateful for the Love and Stuff community. And I'm hoping that just some of the nuggets that you've heard here today, that you will share with another brother, another sister, another family about the power and the wealth of love that you can gain just from your family. I like how Kai said one of the benefits of having a big family is that you don't have to look for friends, that you could have relationships with your family. She even went on to say that her and Deborah, her older sister, have a great relationship, which I think that's awesome. And think about your siblings today and think about your family today. Even if you're not in the best of relationship with them, now is the time to think about it and to think about how you can come together and reunite your relationship, reconcile your differences, and make a difference in your family. I believe that the families are a sign of the love that God intended to flow through to the world. Before there was ever a church or a temple thought of, there was the family. And I believe in these families or tribes or groups that there were supposed to be examples of love of a patriarch and a matriarch who then modeled out the behavior and handed it down from generation to generation. So it's your turn and my turn to be the Michaels of our time and to make sure we stand in the place where a father can be seen. He can be seen being godly, loving, and being able to be touched by his children. I'm Marcus Holmes. Have a great night. I'm so glad that we had our guests, the McCrarys, and hopefully we'll have a chance to track back with them later. I hope you will share the content widely. Go to our Love and Stuff page if you haven't been there in a minute and click follow. We're on the road to getting to our followership goals, and we can't get there without you. Have a great night.